Up on the brief this morning is a renewed commitment to the separation of powers and the rule of law by President Bola Tinubu in order to enshrine the ideal of democracy. The president gave the commitment at this year's annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Lagos as he explains how government is at the vanguard of repositioning the judiciary with better welfare, among others. The president, represented by his vice, Senator Kashim Shettima, says government is determined to address this nation's developmental challenges, deploying necessary reforms.
I commend the association for this patriotic commitment to national rebirth and growth. Last year, the conference dwelled on the theme, Getting It Right, charting the course for Nigeria's nation building. This year, you have settled for another fascinating theme, pressing forward a national posture for rebuilding Nigeria. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while I acknowledge the temporal existence of some daunting challenges besetting us as a nation, I want to assure you that this government is poised to address all the developmental challenges facing this country, and be rest assured that in the fullness of time, this nation shall overcome.
Still there, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has drawn a nexus between insecurity and development for meaningful societal advancement. She, however, decries what she describes as a penchant of the political class to politicize and weaponize the issue of national security and even insecurity for personal and selfish gain. Dr. Iweala, who was also speaking on a range of national issues as keynote speaker at that NBA conference, frowns at the stealing of national assets by those bent on perpetually pilfering and sabotaging Nigeria's commonwealth, a position and disposition, she says, must be stopped. That event had in attendance the Attorney General of the Federation, state governors, heads of government agencies, and legal luminaries.
All political parties and politicians, all Nigerians must agree that these elements we identify and others to be added as forming the social contract must be respected by all who govern, no matter their politics, for the good of those they govern. You, the NBA, the biggest gathering of lawyers in the world, the largest, most influential civil society organization in Nigeria, you bear a heavy responsibility to advocate for and ensure that this social contract comes about. My question to you is, are you ready?
Well, on their part, Governors Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State and his Plateau State counterpart Caleb Moftuang are seeking all hands to be on deck to fulfill government's social contract, which they commit to. In their separate remarks, both leaders at the subnational level believe a lot has to be done to bring development, including electoral reforms, government accountability, and civic responsibility, including paying taxes.
Every state in the country to be ready. We want every tribe in the nation to be ready. We want every profession in the nation to be ready. We want every man, woman, young or old to be ready. Because it's only when all of us are ready that Nigeria is ready. It's only when all of us are ready that what Antipas had said to us this evening becomes a social contract that indeed we can truly, really take home.
In the meantime, the Inspector General of Police has received the rescued, kidnapped medical students who were abducted in Benue State on August the 15th on their way to Enugu for a medical conference, but were rescued on the 20th, or August the 22nd. The IGP says the 27 victims were rescued without paying any form of ransom, explaining how 20 students are from the University of Jos and the University of Maiduguri, while the other 7 are innocent Nigerians previously kidnapped by the bandits. According to the police boss, the rescue operation was made possible with the support of the National Security Advisor, other security agencies, and local vigilantes.
Our commitment to rid our nation of criminal elements who seek to disrupt the peace and security of our society. The Nigeria Police Force will continue to employ every lawful means at its disposal to protect the lives and property of all Nigerians. My message to those who are still in captivity and to their family members is that they should not lose hope.
Meanwhile, Well, 2 police officers have been killed and 3 others are unconscious following a clash between the police operatives and members of the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as Shiites, in Abuja yesterday. The spokesperson for the FCT command, Adhere, describes the attack as unprovoked while accusing the group of destroying 3 police patrol vehicles. According to Adhere, the Shiite members attacked some personnel of the Nigerian police force attached to the FCT command at Wuse Junction by the traffic light. Let's get to other stories where the Department of State Services, DSS, has freed a journalist, Adhere Shoyinka, hours after he was picked up at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport here in Lagos. The reason for Shoyinka's arrest early on Sunday was unknown, as DSS spokesperson Peter Funaya had not responded to inquiries by one of our correspondents. However, a source close to the former BBC Pidgin editor confirmed his release to one of our correspondents. It is reported that the secret police seized Shoyinka's travel passport as well. Mr. Shoyinka, the regional editor of the Conversation Africa, was arrested around 5 a.m. upon arrival at the Lagos airport from the United Kingdom. Let's now talk business, where the federal government plans to provide 3 billion naira in support of states in an effort to mitigate the impact of the recent flood disaster. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, disclosed this while speaking with journalists at the Government House in Benin, Kebbi on Sunday after inspecting the flood-affected areas in Kebbi State. Mr. Edun believes the funds will put states in good position to prepare their farmers to the all-important dry season farming, which it anticipates will be successful if well planned and implemented. Let's get out to the international scene in what can be described as a major escalation. Israel says it has carried out a wave of preemptive strikes across southern Lebanon to mitigate a large-scale rocket and drone attack by Hezbollah. The Israel military said fighter jets destroyed thousands of Iran-backed armed groups' rocket launchers on Sunday. Hezbollah and his allies, the Amal movement, confirmed that 3 fighters were killed. Hezbollah said it managed to fire 320 rockets and drones at Israel in retaliation for the assassination of a senior commander, while Israel's military said an Israeli Navy soldier was killed. Let's go to the world of sports. The Paralympic touch relay for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games celebrated its first day in France on Sunday. After passing from Great Britain to France via the Channel Tunnel at midday, it multiplied into 12 flames that shone around the country. The Paralympic touch stepped on French soil around noon, heralding the imminent return of the Games to France. And those are the stories we've been tracking for you, say, in the last 24 hours.